All right, if you're watching this video, you've probably made it to the point where you have a keychain design done. It has all the features that are required of that assignment as well as extruded. And now it's time to create a drawing that you'll be submitting as a PDF to Schoology. And so ultimately, your PDF is going to look something like what I have here on the screen. So I have my design showing in 2D, so it's no longer extruded. I've also included some dimensions, and we have this on A-size paper with our name and the date that we drew that. And again, this is what you're going to end up submitting to Schoology as a PDF. So let's talk about how this is going to get done. So if we go back to our Part Studio, this is the design we drew in the previous video, if you watched that. And we're going to click on the plus sign down the bottom left corner. That is going to allow us to create a drawing or add a drawing in this case. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And when you do this, you're going to go ahead and use A-size paper for this assignment. So it should say ANSI A inch. If it doesn't show up under your drawing templates already, you're going to click Show On-Shape Drawing Templates to access the ANSI A inch. By default, usually this is the one that does appear on most students' computers though. So we're going to hit OK. And this will load our workspace. And so it creates our drawing template. It shows our name, also the date that we drew this. The A-size paper is also visible. Because I have more than one keychain example here, I have two different parts, but ultimately you should only have one part for this project. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the keychain that I last drew. And I want to make sure that I have my top view. I also want to make sure that this is in 1:1. And we're going to place that right in the middle of our paper there. And so we can see what that looks like. Now you will be able to actually have other views, but they're not needed. You're more than welcome to include those views, but I only need your top view for this assignment. So I'm going to go ahead and hit escape just to get rid of that from showing up anymore. And so now at this point, I can go ahead and start to dimension this. So one of the dimensions that we need is going to be the diameter of that circle. And again, this is for your key ring hole. And we know that it should be 0.15 inches in diameter. So I want to make sure that the dimension tool that I'm selecting, so all the features that are up at the top, you're clicking on the dimension tool, but we want to make sure we hit diameter dimension. And there is a shortcut, Shift D. So I'm going to click on my circle, drag my cursor out of the way there, and I'm going to left click, and there it shows me my dimension. Now there's two more dimensions that are important for us to include, and that's going to be the overall length and the overall width of our piece. If you have issues with trying to dimension the outside edges, which there is most likely going to be at least one or two students that have this issue, but just so that we can see what this looks like, if I try to click on the outside edges of my awkward looking shape here, it doesn't necessarily work. So what I can do is I can use the line tool to draw a line straight out from the outside edge of the top and do the same thing on the bottom here. And now I can dimension the distance between those two lines for my overall width. So clicking on the 2 points, I'll get a dimension, and there we have it. 1.27 within that 1.5 range, which we know because we drew this within that rectangle that we first started with. Again, I would be able to do the same thing for my width or my length of my piece, excuse me. So we're going to use the line tool one more time. I'm going to hit escape, click on the line tool one more time there. So overall length here, and I'm going to click on the ends of those two lines, and there I have my length for my keychain as well. So I'm all set. I can go ahead and submit this now. So in order to submit or create a PDF of our drawing that we just did, we're going to go ahead and click on the 3 lines next to our file name, which would include your name in the file name. And this is called our document menu. When we click on this, you're going to hit print. It's going to open up this in a new window here, or new tab of our web page, and we're going to go ahead and print this as a PDF. So you would go under destination, change it from paper cut to save as a PDF, and at that point it'll be able to be saved to your computer, and then you'll submit this to Schoology. Make sure that your file name from Onshape is the same as your file name or your PDF that you're saving, and this will make things really easy for you to stay organized in this class. If you haven't already done so, I will recommend that you create a Map 1 folder for this class, because you're going to have a lot of drawings as we go throughout the marking period, and it makes things easy to find if you have it all saved in one spot. So if you have any questions, feel free to watch this video again, stop me in the classroom or in the shop for some additional assistance, or you can find an intern if there's one available to give you a hand with this process as well. I look forward to seeing your designs as you submit those on Schoology.